Hello, everybody, and may the 4th be with you! Yeah! Talking about Star Wars, talking about them Star Wars. I hope they never end. What's going on, everybody? Listening in here, out there, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere you listen to a podcast, tuning us to us live on Twitch, watching our VARDs afterwards on YouTube, coming in live and being attentive in the chat. Guys, today is May the 4th. What is that? It's Star Wars Day! It's Star Wars Day! Everybody, Star Wars Day!
Star Wars Day.
Everybody's favorite day of the war.
I love it. All my coworkers know I love Star Wars. So like, hey man, may the 4th be with you. I was like, oh, thanks. And one of the coworkers was like, oh, hey, we was talking to insert name here. And she was like, hey, do you know what today is? And he goes, oh, May the 4th. Did you? No, it's the anniversary of like me working here for a certain amount of years. And he was just like, oh, yes, Star Wars is better.
Good job.
Star Wars is better. Get wrecked. That was hilarious. Guys, today we're going to be talking about Star Wars throughout our favorite genre, our favorite content to consume, one of our favorite things to do, video games. Absolutely love them. Whether it be adventures, actions, storytelling, whether we're talking about the best vehicles, dark side characters, or droid companions. Ooh, but before we get into those nice, juicy tidbits, let's see who's playing Sabak with us today. Haha, I'm in a Star Wars reference. Yeah, I did it. We got Dot Chris.
What an interesting smell you've discovered, Serge.
I thought it smelled bad on the outside. Speaking of smelling bad on the outside, we got TV's Casey.
I may not look like much, but I've got it where it counts, kid.
Hey, nailed it! Yeah! And I'm your host, Bad Cody Sergio. Welcome everybody to May the 4th! Yeah! Tomorrow, Revenge of the 5th.
And then on Friday is episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Oh!
Wow!
That's a new one!
I am blown. Did you just make that up?
I made it up when The Force Awakens came out, and Star Wars Day was a big thing, and it happened to be the weekend. I was very excited. You're welcome, world!
Goddamn. Disney needs to use that. They need to use that and market and use it to sell us things. And you can
I'm a pun factory. You can give me money, I will give you puns. That's how this transaction works.
Oh my god, I love it. Puns, and dad jokes are my favorite.
Love it.
Yeah. So guys, speaking of things we love, let's see here. We got some wonderful categories in which we're going to be talking about the Star Wars games throughout the generations and years of us playing them. Casey, what do we got coming up here first?
There's a long, sordid history in Star Wars. Some might say games that have weapons from a more civilized age. I'm talking about which game has the best lightsaber handling.
Best lightsaber.
Now, I've got a not so controversial pick for me, if I may so open it up.
What?
I'm going with Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Listen, they made a bunch of advancements from the first one, and it's the first time I was ever exposed to different lightsaber styles in a game. It might be the first time that there are just different lightsaber styles in a game. You've got fast style, you've got a balanced style, and you've got strong style for them big cuts. Yeah, I thought it was great that you could basically change it on the fly. You could play that game as Kyle Katarn, swing your saber pretty much however you wanted. And there were advantages and disadvantages to all three kinds. And it worked great in multiplayer to mix up for your opponents.
Oh, dude, the multiplayer was just nutty. And I love that they still play them today. Like, they still do battles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was multiplayer in that game. My mind's blown.
Yeah.
Well, now that you know, you can pick it up for the low price on the Switch.
I have one of them on the Switch. I think it might just be Jedi Knight 2, though. That's the one. But I guess I can get Jedi Outcast as well.
Yeah.
But
Chris, in the category of best lightsaber handling, where does it fall with you?
I am gonna go with the Episode 1 game Jedi Power Battles, which is actually better than the actual Episode 1 game. You know, I was thinking about this question, and like I think a lot of people are gonna go with Fallen Order because of like how nuanced that lightsaber fighting is. But for me, like I just want to jump in arcade style and just like hammer on like the square or triangle button, and just go arcade style. I thought it's super fluid. Your characters can upgrade combos. I think that the blocking and like, you know, shooting or rather blocking a laser blast and kicking it back at your enemy is kind of like it feels really good, and it's like a must have when it comes to a Star Wars game where you have a lightsaber. Like, you got to be able to block the laser blasts.
Yeah.
I feel like not too many people, like not everyone has as fond a memory for Jedi Power Battles as I do. I still love that game. Just running around with.
I honestly don't
friends.
think I've ever played it.
Really?
It's so good.
I feel like
good.
I'm sorely missing out.
Yeah, it's it's like arcade style. You play through the story of Episode 1, but the characters you can choose from are Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mace Windu, Plo Koon, Adi Gallia.
Oh, you gotta have Plo Koon.
You gotta have Plo Koon. And then you can unlock other characters like a destroyer droid, and you can play a whole level as like the destroyer droid. It's great.
Just double guns in the force field.
Just double guns in the force field.
Bubbled up.
The levels, the secret levels those levels are called droidicas, and it is super fun.
Droidicas.
Yeah.
Love it, man. And I'm kind of mad you outed my pick here, as most people would pick. I mean, I really do like some of the old school Star Wars games. Like, I like the OG Star Wars Battlefront 2. I mean, I remember playing that game extensively, and I loved earning enough points to become one of the heroes and just wielding a lightsaber on the battle, whether it was dark side or light side. But I really do think Jedi Fallen Order really outdid themselves when it came to lightsaber battles. I mean, when the game was first announced, we didn't know what type of game it was going to be, and really didn't expect a Dark Souls-like or a Souls-like game. And I've never played a Souls-like game. I've seen it played, and I really liked coming from a game like The Force Unleashed, where you basically swing your lightsaber as a baseball bat, to being a bit more finesse, being a bit more refined, because it is civilized up in.
Just chopping wood.
Just chopping wood.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moves in that game is just to swing it like a bat, and then you hit the stormtroopers go flying. It's so good. But
so this is a good choice. I feel like it's the choice most people are going to make, because it's a great game, and it's a very different way, in a very nuanced way to lightsaber fight.
Dude, it's so buttery smooth. You're rewarded for doing a precise movement as opposed to button smashing. You're rewarded for parrying as opposed to just dodging out of the way. And the boss battles are fun and rewarding. I mean, I haven't played a game in a while where I felt like I needed to really try in boss battles. I mean, aside from, I don't know, Shadow of the Colossus back in the day. But yeah, dude, this
they introduced parrying to the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Seriously, and they're all the better for it. I mean, you guys all played through this game, right?
Yeah.
Haven't beat it, but I have spent many hours with it.
Gotcha. You got to beat it. You got to go through it. I mean, it's worth it gameplay. I mean, everyone that's picked it up is just like, oh wow, this isn't like your hack and slash, like, you know, button mashing type of Star Wars game. It's a bit more finessed, and
it's a little more Dark Soulsy.
Yeah. That's what I really liked about it. It's just it was just so accurate and precise, and the handling. Oh, it was so good. The combos you can pull off. Oh, when you pull them off, you're like, oh, you feel like the man. Oh man, but yeah. On to our next category in the Star Wars Galaxy of Games, Best Original Story. Now, I'm interested to hear what you guys thought, because we might all have different answers.
Hold on a second, because you forgot about our write-in candidate.
Oh, that's right. Right in here. Stop the votes.
Jay's Mac could not make it tonight. He's too busy getting healthy for the rest of the world. But he did say that The Force Unleashed for Wii, and he says, I mean, come on. Meaning he's up off his ass, swinging it around, which I gotta admire. I really
baseball bat style.
Yeah.
Did he really play it for the Wii? Is this a meme?
I
never know with him.
With him, it's hard to say, but I mean, he definitely specified for the Wii.
Specific for the Wii.
I will contest that game has the most satisfying version of the saber throw in any Star Wars game I've ever played.
Why is that?
Go for it.
It boomerangs. It comes right back. It feels real good.
It's passion, and it's Star Wars.
I love it.
It's passion.
let's kick it to some of the polls. We did some internet polling. A couple things. Facebook agrees with Surge that Fallen Order is the go-to. Jedi Fallen Order is the go-to choice for lightsabers. And on Twitter, they actually agreed with Jay with the Force Unleashed is the go-to. So a little mix. Good choices all around, guys. Go
Great
us.
choices
I'm
all
just
around,
the weird
guys.
one.
Absolutely. All right, next category in the Star Wars galaxy, we got Best Original Story. I'm interested to hear what the poll said about this as well. But guys, Best Original Story. Let's kick it over to Chris.
I'm going to start it off with, I'm actually going to choose Jedi Fallen Order for this one. Because I really like this era of where the story actually fits, which is in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and kind of seeing what happened to this world, or this universe rather, between those events and where we see A New Hope. And fun fact, I actually watched the first episode of The Bad Batch, which also takes place during this period. So would recommend as well. But I like the idea of, hey, like where the Jedi all kind of like disappeared. What happened to the few survivors that made it? I think it's a really cool story. And I'm into it. That's why I chose Fallen Order.
Okay. Nice. Good pick. Good pick. Casey, Best Original Story in a Star Wars
Now, mine is a little bit of a cheat, I will fully admit.
Prep Bros.
And it's because I chose Shadows of the Empire.
Ooh. Wait, how's that a cheat?
Because it was a multimedia franchise. So not only did you get a video game, you got a novel, you got comic books, you got action figures. They went all out on Shadows of the Empire. And let me tell you, just when you thought the movies were great and you're like, all right, I've read the stuff that happens after Return of the Jedi. I've read, stuff in Star Wars Insider about things that might be coming on the horizon for Star Wars fans. But what about that 1 year when the gang is out, trying to save Han Solo, trying to come up with a plan? What do they do when the Empire's got him on the run? That's Shadows of the Empire. It takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And it features everyone's favorite hero, and definitely not Han Solo, Dash Rendar, who's got his own ship that's just like the Millennium Falcon. He's got a cool droid co-pilot who is in no way like a Wookiee. All right? He's got a cool gun. He's got a bad attitude. All right? It gave you all the satisfaction of playing as Han Solo with a character that is only vaguely like Han Solo. But I love the idea of Luke becoming a Jedi Master, being kind of too busy to sort of deal with the stuff that's going on right now. There's stuff in that game with Prince Shizor, a character of the Feline who runs a criminal organization and has a crush on Princess Leia, and there's romantic entanglements and crime, and he's got a rivalry with Vader, and he's vying for the Emperor's right hand. A really, really great complex villain that, I guess through a modern lens, he kind of reminds me of Prince Lotor from the Voltron show. Or Alucard from Dracula or from Castlevania. Like, he's that kind of a character. I just love everything that was involved in Shadows of the Empire. I love that I could experience it through pretty much any medium, especially a video game.
It's definitely like the most canon, not canon thing that was out there.
Yeah.
I think I agree. I friggin' loved it. I remember like I had a huge collection of action figures, and all the Shadows of the Empire stuff was just friggin' dope. And I was like, what is this? What is this world? This story between movies?
There's separate branding in my Star Wars?
I don't understand.
What?
Sarge, what about you, man?
Oh, man. So in the title of Best Original Story, this is really hard. It was a really hard pick. There's a lot of good contenders in this category. And it's really hard to pick because there's so many great Star Wars games, right? And there's so much work put into each and every one of them. And before, Disney bought them, there was a lot of them that really permeated into existence. There was a lot of them that really got handled well by certain companies. One company, namely BioWare. Now,
yes.
If you know that name, you guys know where I'm going with this.
I would have been disappointed if we didn't mention it tonight.
I absolutely love Knights of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic, whether it be 1 or 2, I'm going to say 1 because I do like Knights of the Republic 2, but just playing the first one just blew my mind, right?
I mean, KOTOR 2 also not a finished game.
There's that too.
You gotta dock it a few points for that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's probably why I didn't like it so much. Yeah. But Knights of the Republic is such a classic old school game, and this is when BioWare was BioWare. What I mean by that is that they were able to be these modern day story weavers, right? They were telling us these fables, these ballads, these Olympian like tales, but in the realm of Star Wars. And you got to know all these different cast of characters. You were thrown into this story, and you played it as yourself, but also as like a mysterious character. And I really, really enjoyed the story as it went along. The turn-based battling was fine. I actually thought it was really engaging. I didn't mind it as much as I do in other games. And I really, oh man, I can't say enough about the story. And it's such a classic, and it's such like a cult classic, and heralded as one of the best like Star Wars games that they're going to be making a new one.
Yes.
or continuation, but there is a modern one that is coming down the pipeline. They announced it, and I can't wait for that either. Hopefully, they really spend a lot of time developing a good story, giving us good combat. But I just remember playing Knights of the Republic 1 just over and over again. I played it on the Xbox originally, and then on my PC, and on my PC again. It was just something about just going through the Star Wars universe thousands of years before what we know as the Luke, as the Skywalker saga. And it was so cool because you were so far removed from all these characters that you knew and loved from the movies that you were almost in like you are in an alienish world, but there's like vibro blades, there's all these different characters, like the Republic is different. And I like that it kind of put everybody on an even keel. Like nobody really knew what was going on, nobody was smarter than anybody else, and we were all just along for the ride and experiencing the game and the story as it went along. And I don't know, I was just so enthralled with it. And I love that the character choices, the light and the dark side, being able to queue up your abilities, caring about your companions, and making sure, you had the right party with you and treating them right. I thought that mechanic was great, and BioWare was really, really sinking their teeth into that. Like, I loved, battling alongside of Mako, HK-47, one of my favorite kill droids.
The man.
So good. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it, man. I mean, there's no way you can talk about a Star Wars game and, best original story and not bring up Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, come on. Well, what are we doing here if we don't bring up the Old Republic? Disney, do Old Republic movies. Come on. Or TV shows. Like, let's just do some Disney Plus Old Republic. Let's do it.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
An age undreamed of.
Yeah.
And what about our write-in gentleman?
Our esteemed write-in gentleman, he said, okay, this is a good pick.
Okay.
Star Wars Bounty Hunter. That would be the PlayStation Classic Jango Fett game. He's on a mission of revenge. Any takers to the audience on this one?
I never played it.
I played a little bit of it. It was all right. It had a weird mechanic where both of his hands, so he had two guns in each, one in each hand, each one shot like independently of each other. So like you would focus on two different targets and shoot, and it was really weird. But I mean, hey, everybody wanted to be Boba Fett, but in the early 2000s, it was all about Jango Fett. He was, he's where we went to. It's basically the same thing. He's just shiny.
He's a Boba Fett that actually does stuff. He's out there. He's out there killing Jedi, man.
Dude, his backpack's got jets.
That's true.
Yeah.
And as far as polls actually agreed with Surge. Knights of the Old Republic.
Hey.
Got the top win there. Other mentionables, also Knights of the Old Republic 2, Fallen Order, and Jedi Outcast.
Nice.
But Knights of the Old Republic got the gold.
Shouldn't have went for the nostalgia choice.
Hey, it's fine. There's no wrong answers. Only really wrong answers.
Moving along in the Star Wars galaxy of video games. Let's move on to the category of best vehicles, ladies and gentlemen, NBEs. So guys, the Star Wars universe lends itself to some really cool vehicles, and I wonder if we're all going to have the same answer for this one. If it's a bit too obvious, let's see what goes on here. So in the category of best Star Wars vehicles in video games, Casey, let's kick it off to you. What do you got?
So mine is also See, this was a tough choice for me because I've got two. Now, the B-Wing Starfighter has been a favorite of mine for a long time. But I might have to go with the nostalgia choice once again and go with Dash Rendar's Outrider. Because it was the one ship that I always wanted to have as an action figure. Because they made it. And you know who had it? Friend of the show, Alex Toomey. Because he had every goddamn Star Wars toy under the sun.
He did. So crazy.
But yeah, it was. You know what the nice thing about the Outrider is? You already love the Millennium Falcon and its weird misshapen like cookie shape, right? The Outrider is kind of like what you would get if the Millennium Falcon could like roll like a B-Wing. So it was like you take the best, most iconic ship in Star Wars, and then you take my favorite ship in Star Wars, and you kind of put them together, and you give it to, again, the greatest character in Star Wars history.
The YT 2600, wasn't that the...
No.
No?
Oh, is that it? Oh, yes, that is it. That is it. So,
yeah.
Or 2400. Or,
it was 2400? Was the Millennium Falcon was YT 1300, right? Yeah. Something like that? I'm trying to remember what the numbers are.
Yeah,
At one point, I know
it's like a cooler, better, nicer version of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
So, what more could you want?
Wow, tell us how you really feel about that shit.
That's it. I love it. I adore the Outrider.
Now, Casey, which game did you play this in?
You can only play it in Shadows of the Empire. That's it. That's the only time. It may have been available in Star Wars Galaxies, but honestly, I do not remember. That was a long
He's like, honestly,
ago.
I do not care.
I mean, look, I love Star Wars Galaxies. It's really like the only good Star Wars online experience you could get. Sorry, Old Republic, didn't work for me.
Wow.
But yeah, the Outrider. That's my ticket.
Nice, Chris. What's your ticket you're punching in through the galaxy?
Man, I gotta go. Look, as many problems as there were with Episode 1, there are 3 amazing things that came out of that. The John Williams score, Darth Maul, and pod racing.
Yes,
it's got to be Episode 1 Racer. I friggin' love that game. I love it so much. I just bought it again with First Switch this past year, and I still pick it up and play it. It is phenomenal. There's such like a wild cast of characters. Really friggin' cool.
You can finally play as Ben Quadraneros.
Yes.
That's what people have been asking for.
Dud Bolt. Oh my god, so many things. Sebulba. All of these friggin' crazy looking aliens driving these like crazy chariot things down breakneck speeds. You can repair your ship. You're going to all the classic places. You're on Tatooine, Malastare, Naboo, all of these different levels, and like the fact that you can even tilt your friggin' pod racer up on the side to go through like tight holes. Oh, love it.
Just press that right C button, man. I know exactly how it feels.
Absolutely. I first played this when it first came out. I played it on my computer, my Compact Presario, killing
Classic.
It back in the day. This also had an arcade version where you straight up like sit down and Anakin Skywalker with the almost like motorcycle handlebars that push forward and back. Totally into it. You can customize, upgrade all of your pod racers. I am a big fan of this game. Still like it.
Hey, head to the junkyard. Get a little thing from Watto.
Yes. Beautiful. I feel like that guy got a lot of mileage in the early 2000s for that voice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I've been getting mileage out of that voice. A terrible impression of that voice, mind you, for close to 20 years.
We're all
Serge,
the worse off.
What do you got, man?
You stole my answer. It's definitely pod racer. I mean, like there's no contest when it comes to the category of best vehicles. I mean, what are we talking about here? I also first played it on the PC home computer. Yes, it was actually in. I'm gonna date myself. This is actually in Science Lab. Like this kid in the back was playing it. Right, we walked to class. Like one of the kids was like got to class early. We're just like, haha, nerd. But at the same time, it's just like, oh, what's going on here? He's in the back, and some stuff was happening on the screen. So I go back there, and I'm like, what's this? What's going on here? He's like, this is
what's this? What's this? There's pod racing everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yes. What does our write-in Jay's Mac say?
Our write-in candidate, despite all odds, he also agreed that Episode 1 Racer was the best.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
You know what?
You know what the polls say? They also agree that Episode
tell
1
me.
Racer is
Really?
the best. Yes. I'm surprised no one went like no one went with Squadrons. Like it was for what the game like wanted. Like there was a lot of like that the variety of vehicles in that and the way that they handle were really good, but there's just something like super edgy and daring and like over the top fun about pod racing.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
I've got good news for you guys.
Hit it.
Tell Nintendo you want another F-Zero game, because you know what? That's the original pod racing. Gotta
Now
tell you.
this is pod racing.
Now this is pod racing.
Hi, this is Michael Dolce, host of the Rogue Wave podcast. If you like comics, movies, TV, pop culture, and want inside access to the creators behind it, then you've come to the right place. Join us every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming live on Facebook.com/RogueWavePodcast and Twitch.tv/RogueWavePodcast. New episodes available on all major podcasting apps immediately following the live stream. Rogue Wave Podcast, the frequency for all things pop culture and the disruptors behind it.
Sorry.
All right, let's moving on through the galaxy. Best dark side character. Ooh. Where are we gonna land on this one, Casey?
I don't know if I've ever been more Now, see, this is kind of a cheatsy answer because she plays both sides of the fence. I'm
Ooh.
going with Kreia from Knights of the Old Republic. She is a Sith twice betrayed, but she also has this uncanny understanding of both destiny and, you know, what it means to be fated and to know your role in the galaxy. And it's really, her story is so tragic. Like, you know her as, you know, a member of your party, someone who's been through so much, and can telepathically move lightsabers with her mind. That's just a fun bonus. But, yeah, she's with you through thick and thin, and then unfortunately at the climax of the game, spoiler alert, you know, she's forced into a role that, you know, she becomes your enemy, and it's real sad.
Everyone playing at home, drink every time there's a Star Wars pun.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You're doomed.
Chris in the category of best dark side character for this May the 4th. What have you got?
I gotta go with the Force Unleashed Starkiller.
Yeah.
Get those dark side powers. I feel like it was the first time you got like a well-rounded like sandbox of dark side powers to play around with. You know, that game starts off pretty rad with like a lot of things that have now come after it with Darth. You start playing like Darth Vader, and he's overpowered and just walks through and just decimates this like Wookiee village. And it gives you a taste of what you're gonna end up as later. And then once you start playing as Starkiller, you got to work your way up to get a lot of these different powers. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy playing the Force Unleashed and playing as Starkiller. That is why he is my choice.
Dude, The Force Unleashed was such a badass game, and I think they were kind of skeptical to make the game at first because it just breaks all reality of like Star Wars, you know, like the lore and the world building. Because like we haven't seen a Jedi like that
Pull
over
a
the top,
Star Destroyer.
full-blown far, yeah, before. And the developer at the time, I remember seeing an interview, was just like, you know, but we got to remember like these are also games, and it's just like we have to wonder what's it like to be such an overpowered, over the top like Jedi or Sith, like turning, you know, Jedi to the dark side. And I'm so glad they went through that, because if you've never played The Force Unleashed, god damn, it's such a crazy game. It's so I remember being blown away. I'm just like, holy crap, I didn't know you could be this powerful as a Force user. And it was just so much fun to play, to, you know, like hit stormtroopers away from each other, or to just like force throw them off of the balcony. But that beginning part with Vader you were talking about is so menacing. Him just like going through like the Wookiee village, just slowly, just menacingly, like the freaking Terminator. I'm just like, yo, this game is raw.
You can throw stormtroopers and they hold hands trying to save themselves.
I love it. They're like, oh, no.
He doesn't even
Let
run.
go.
You like walk. You basically like just go for a stroll of death.
Yeah, he can't run. He can't run.
No.
Yeah.
It's
It was
great.
just-
Serge, what was your choice?
Oh man, it's almost cheating to say like the Star Wars. Okay, the Star Wars Battlefront games I thought were a lot of fun. Even with the new ones with EA and stuff like that, they're still very fun modes despite all EA's like involvement. Anyway, so I love playing the heroes versus villains mode in Star Wars Battlefront 1 and Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I really can't like pick like a singular villain, but I would have to say I really liked playing as Vader. I had a lot of fun playing as Vader and as Kylo, but namely as Vader in Star Wars Battlefront. You just get the weight of him. You get the shininess, the shiny chrome of him. I love that like he doesn't really run per se. He kind of jogs pretty fast. His jump is so funny. Like he just like glides through the air, and I'm just like, this is so ridiculous, but it's so much fun. But you feel walking through a hallway, throwing your lightsaber, that people are fearing you. At one point, he really was OP, and he was like a tank almost. So you were able to just mow people down as you were going through the galaxy and just like destroying people in Star Wars Battlefront. So I would say Vader for the Star Wars Battlefront games.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what about our write-in?
Our write-in
Jay's Mac
candidate?
from afar.
He also chose Starkiller specifically
Oh.
for the reason that he is hold on a second. Despite the fact that he is unreasonably overpowered, he likes his character arc.
That works. And going to our online polls, we have a tie between Darth Malak from Knights of the Old Republic and Darth
that's a good
Nihilus from Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Darth Nihilus, come on!
Hey,
That
man.
guy's
Come on.
barely a character.
True.
He's there. What do you
Yeah.
want?
I mean, he's present. There's no doubt about that. He is definitely a character in the game.
Tell us how you really feel about Darth Nihilus, Casey.
No, I mean he's fine, but like he's more like a plot device than a character.
I mean, what's cooler than a Sith vampire?
A black hole in the Force.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm with you, boss. That's what he
Oh,
is.
man.
It's great.
Yeah. Speaking of great, moving on to the Star Wars galaxy of categories here, we've got Best Lightside Character. Let's toss it over to Chris this time.
I gotta go with Dash Rendar. He is, Han
Not even a
Solo.
Jedi for a light side choice.
No, but he's a good character. Whatever, it's fine. He's Diet Coke Han Solo, but like, I don't know. I love that character mainly because like I feel like they just like couldn't get the rights to Han Solo, so they just made this dude up. But he's also like pretty rad. He's got like space pauldrons.
Yeah. Big ass. He's got 90s comic book shoulder pads.
At 100%. And
Absolute nightmare to draw.
yeah, I don't know. I have barely played like Shadows of the Empire. I've only like read a few of the comics. I've only read a little bit of the book. But I'm just so fascinated with this whole with Shadows of the Empire as a whole. Again, love the in between books. It's the most canon non-canon thing.
It's
Dash
a big
Rendar
mess.
is my guy.
Big mess.
I like him.
Yeah.
I want to see more of him. I want to see him on the big screen sometime. Make it happen, Disney.
I always wanted Kyle Katarn to be played by Chris Kattan, just so I can say Chris Kattan.
Just so you can
Kyle
say it.
Kattan. So I can say it.
Hey,
It's really
speaking
dumb.
of Kyle Katarn, that's my guy.
Oh!
Oh, sure.
You segue that perfectly for me. I'll give you that.
There you go.
Kyle Katarn is my first exposure to a Jedi who gave up the path and was like, you know what? I just want to kind of go and do my own thing. But when the galaxy needed him most, he stepped up. He retrained at Luke's temple. He fought all kinds of dark Jedi. He fought a bunch of like reborn who are like basically just dark Jedi, but they kind of suck. He fought a dinosaur Sith Lord. Okay, a dinosaur. Like big sharp teeth is why.
What game is this from?
He's in Dark Forces, Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, and Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Academy.
Oh, wow. He's all over the place.
Not Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast. I can't even remember the titles anymore. But yes, great stuff.
Cool.
Nice.
Serge, what you got?
That was an abrupt finish there. I'm gonna say Chris Kattan. No, I'm kidding. It's really hard to pick best Lightside character. I like Darkside more. When you ask me to pick a best Lightside character, it's like, okay, which is better, like Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi? It's like it's the same garbage, you know. It's just the same cabbage, you know. Yeah, just the same cabbage. Yeah, it's best Lightside. I'm more interested in. This is great in Jay's Mac's pick.
You want to know his pick?
Who also included something that we needed to play on stream.
Do you have it prepared?
I do, yeah.
All right, let's just let it fly, and then we'll let Casey explain.
I'm not even gonna say it. There's no explanation. He just says, just open it.
Yeah.
Just feast your eyes.
Go ahead, Casey. Just talk.
Set us up.
Jar Jar Binks, Overwatch play of the game.
Wow, thanks, Jace Mac. That was great. That was something. that was the thing that happened just now. Great.
That's the power of video editing in this year of our Lord.
Yep.
Oh man,
By
that's
golly.
great. Gotta love Jays Mac. Make sure to check out his streams whenever he's wherever your Jays Macs are sold.
You're still gonna plug him after all that, huh?
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Sure.
Anyways,
gave us something. Anyways,
All
moving
right,
along. We're blasting.
I was going to throw to the polls real quick.
Yep.
The internet likes Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order.
Really?
And why shouldn't they?
I don't know.
Interesting.
He's just a redheaded Jedi because what people like is more white people with lightsabers. What happens? Fine.
The
Honestly,
soyest
a lot of
Jedi
white
ever.
people like-
It's fine. He's fine. Listen, he's fine.
When I first played him, I'm just like, oh, I wanted to be a custom character, but I guess this gangly, scrawny old guy is it's fine. I guess this is fine.
It's
fine.
It's fine. This is fine. This is what we wanted. Not a custom character. Be your own Jedi and imprint yourself inside of the Star Wars galaxy. It's okay.
Just a white guy.
Yeah, just a scrangly, growly soy Jedi. All right, so speaking of scrangly, scrawny things, best droid companion. Ooh, May the 4th is moving right along in the category of best droid companion. Oh man, let's kick it off with Casey. Who do you got for best droid companion?
I'm gonna pull one from Shadows of the Empire, but strangely enough, only the PlayStation version because it's the only one with actual cutscenes.
Oh.
Dash Rendar's droid, Lebo, is a sassy, back-talking, sarcastic butler of a droid, and I love him to pieces. It's just like, oh, just going out there on your own, sir. Best of luck to you. Just whatever will I do if you don't come back in one piece. I mean, what more could you want out of a robot sidekick? Not the most original idea, I'll grant you, but he's better than C-3PO.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel about 3D.
Anthony Daniels is going to send you hate mail.
Yeah, there's somebody, Anthony Daniels was just like, what the hell? You son of a bitch. Chris, in the category of best droid companion, who do you have?
Oh, I know it's like the basic choice, but BD1 from Jedi Fallen Order is just like, I'm going to say it, he's totes adorbs.
He's cute, he's helpful.
Yeah, he's basically like a pair of binoculars with legs, but like that's what he is. He jumps off your shoulder, runs up to points of interest and saying, "Hey, check this thing out," and he squeaks.
I found a thing. Also, you can give him little custom paint jobs.
Yeah.
Dude, I was gonna pick him too. He has such a great character design. I really liked how they thought of there's so many different renditions of him too. If you look at the behind the scenes stuff for Jedi Fallen Order, and they really thought, we want you to like this guy. We want him to be kind of cute, kind of have big eyes, but also to be functional, right? Be able to get you through doors and spaces, and and kind of like look up at you, and you know what he's like feeling. You know his emotes, and I think that they really landed it here with BD1. I mean, at first like, okay, this is our new R2, here's a new droid buddy, but I really felt for him too in the game. I was like, let's go, buddy. It felt like just like you and him going on these wild adventures throughout these different planets together. And as he opened stuff for you and did things for you, spiked through doors, you're like, yeah, good job, buddy. I'm like, oh my god.
He's got his own little story. He's previous owner, sends you on quests. I mean, come on.
He's the real robot chicken.
For real. They really landed it home. I was just like, damn, they made me feel for this guy. Good job. Yeah. I really like him in Jedi Fallen Order, like picking his different colors, upgrading him. It was just so much fun going on adventures with this guy. And you really, I mean, who doesn't want a little droid buddy? You know what I mean?
Everybody wants one.
Yeah.
You gotta get your little droid guy.
Yeah, little.
Sarge, what is your pick? Or did you go with BD1 or did you get someone else?
I was gonna say BD1. I was gonna say HK-47, but as a companion, I don't know. Like he would sort of like maybe murder you in your sleep and kill you because you're just a meatbag. I'm like, the safe option and the better option, I think, if I'm actually going through the Star Wars galaxy, might not be a murderous robot, or it could be a murderous robot. I don't know. HK-47 could be, but it's just like, I gotta have him beholden to me somehow. I love his, I love his humor. I love his way of thinking, but I don't know. It's like I feel like he could turn on you at any moment.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
I think I'm getting sold on HK. Okay, HK. I like keeping it spicy. He can turn on me at any moment. Spicy. Okay, HK. Yeah, let's go with that. Good job. And what about our buddy Jay's Mac?
Our write-in candidate said, I can't.
Oh, no.
He said his favorite droid companion was The Sims 4 Journey to Batuu.
Fired.
Get out. Let's get the fuck out. Get out.
There's our sponsorship for the video.
There we go.
Wow.
There we go.
In case you were at all curious if we ever
Jay just gets paid by the Sims to drop the Sims.
That's it.
So ridiculous.
For the polls, the internet also agreed that BD1 is their choice. Second,
people really love that Fallen Order
they
game,
do.
man.
It's really good. But the second place that we had on there was Dio from Battlefront 2, who
really?
a little bit more a little more spidery, but like also like equally as functional. Also had there was an ability where he shoots out and like stuns people, so like that's pretty rad. I get that. Also really weird that they put in a canon, a video game that's supposed to be canon with a character named Dio, and then in Rise of Skywalker they used another character that was a little robot also named Dio.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird. JJ probably didn't run that one by people, but what have you. Anyways, that's
editing in Star Wars. It's less likely.
There's a lot of stuff that JD didn't run by people, like a story, like a whole ass story.
Listen,
yikes!
Listen, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's fine.
Yeah. Speaking of faults, blasting off through the next category of games in the Star Wars galaxy, worst game. Now, I'm really interested to see what your guys' choices are, and I wonder if we'll pick the same one. Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
And if the past categories have taught us anything, we have no idea what Jay's Mac's thinking.
Yeah, no.
No freaking clue.
He has an actual choice.
Yeah, he does have an actual choice.
Okay, gotcha. Let's toss it over to Casey.
I'm going to go with Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasi. It's just a chunky Tekken-esque fighting game. I've never heard a nice thing said about it, and weirdly enough, it weaseled its way into the new canon because Terras Kasi is apparently the only time anybody decided to name a martial art in Star Wars.
What?
Listen, I know that this is like widely considered to be one of the worst games ever. I love this game.
No,
I know it's basically virtual. It's basically like Virtual Fighter, like with a Star Wars skin. Yeah. I probably still know the majority of like the special moves for almost every single character. I love this game. It's clunky as hell, but it's a fighting game with Star Wars characters, and you get to be a Gamorrean guard that breathes fire out of his face.
Wait, is this a meme? Do you actually unironically like this game?
I absolutely love this game. I spend so many hours playing this game. It was really weird because a lot of fighting games are like 2D and you can't really move, but you can sidestep in this game. And literally you could, if you were playing like your friend, you could run around and just run in circles, and it's almost impossible to catch up with someone unless they stop. It is so absurd. But some of the special moves are so cool. Like Darth Vader, like literally calls down lightning from the sky and just wrecks you. Luke throws his lightsaber, which hits you, knocks you off into the sky. Chewbacca shoots off homing missiles up into the air that come raining down on you. There is a character named Arden Lin who has like this weird force field thing that gets massive, knocks you off the edge. Mara Jade's in this game.
Mara Jade in like one of very few playable appearances.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I love this game, and I understand why people don't like it. But guess what? I love it. So, booyah!
Hey, yeah. Chris, what's your favorite?
Because I absolutely cannot choose.
I'm not favorite. What's your worst?
What's my least favorite?
Yeah.
Because
he really turned my answer around on me.
I know. Listen, I understand why people don't like that game. I love it, so I could not make that my choice. I'm gonna go with Star Wars Demolition. Which is basically Twisted Metal with Star Wars characters. I mean, but it was rough. It was not that great. There's like a dude riding on a Rancor, and I think there's just Boba Fett is one of the characters.
It's just Boba Fett.
It's just Boba Fett.
And I'm Boba Fett.
And I'm Boba Fett. I think I like rented this game and played it a little bit, but it was not worth actually like buying and going back to it. It basically just felt like Twisted Metal 3, but worse.
Is that what you think they were going for? Because like the Twisted Metal was popping maybe around the same time.
Absolutely. Like I definitely think they were trying to capitalize on the craze, but the execution was just not the best, in my opinion. I just think this game is ridiculous and half baked. But yeah, Star Wars Demolition is my choice.
Star Wars Demo, very interesting pick.
What's your worst game, man?
Oh man, this is gonna come to a shock to some people, so hold on to your butts.
Is it Super Bombad Racing?
What do you mean? It's my favorite game of all time, Super Bombad. Who doesn't like saying Bombad? Bombad. There's a lot of things in Star Wars that are a lot of fun to say. Bombad, Sabalba, anything that Watto says, you know?
Hey, Watto says.
What does a probably great on work out here? I need the real money.
I'm a vaguely a racist to stereotype.
Why did they make that guy?
What am I making fun of? It's hard to say.
Oh man, I think
merchandising. That's why.
Yeah. Oh my God, what's the governor of New Jersey again? What's his?
Cory Booker?
No.
The governor.
The big fat guy, Chris Christie.
Christie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go. He's Watto. That was a joke. It was a long walk, but we got there. Basically, sucker Christie. Also, Cory, let's address the Cory Booker thing. Casey brought up earlier. All right. So Cory Booker, for those who don't know, is a freaking weirdo, right? He's a politician who thinks he can politic, right? He says things when they're convenient. The black community does not claim him. Let's put that out there for a bit. Anyway, long story short, it's May the 4th. It's May the 4th, Star Wars Day, and Cory Booker gets his girlfriend, fiance,
girlfriend,
significant other. Let's go with that.
Significant other. Okay.
Famous actress.
Famous actress. Rosario Dawson. Rosario Dawson, you may know, is Ahsoka Tano in the live-action Mandalorian series. And this guy puts up a tweet. Grogu and I can feel each other's thoughts, right? This freaking weirdo, okay, gets himself to get his girlfriend, take a picture of him in front of some Star Wars plaques and pictures and a fake lightsaber. He's all sweaty because he's weird as hell. And what, dude? Your girl's Rosario. She's Ahsoka Tano. She wowed everybody beyond expectation. Ahsoka Tano fans were crying all over YouTube, all over Twitch, their reactions, because like, wow, she's great. She landed it. Even George Lucas, when he visited the set, he was just like, wow, this is something else. I can't believe
like pixel perfect Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah. And this weirdo who I love what Casey said. What do you say? Imagine Ahsoka Tano is your significant other, and you wake up and ask her to take a photo of you for May the 4th, Star Wars Day.
Not get a picture with me, but get a picture of
me. Like what? Like, dude, imagine being this guy, and imagine thinking you're going to be president. I get red, Cory Booker. Oh man, I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up. It's so weird. Like, why don't you get in the picture with her and you both pose? I'm sure Dave Filoni and I'm sure Jon Favreau gave her some Ahsoka lightsabers. Maybe she has those lying around. How about that for a picture? Not sweating me in front of my. It's just like she's literally in Star Wars. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, you can just imagine Dave Filoni's like, I wish I had Ahsoka Tano as my girlfriend. Just sitting at home looking at fucking Cory Booker's Twitter, just like, I'm gonna unfollow him. He doesn't
Imagine I was telling my cute sexy girlfriend, and instead I made Darth Maul freaking weird. Anyway, God, I hate what we did with Darth Maul so much with a freaking passion. God, I hate that so much. I hate that turn. I hate it so much. I get it, but it's just like from Darth Maul to being a cool, stealthy, slick motherfucker to just like this Kenobi, and I'm like, no, why?
It's more like a Kenobi.
Listen. Wow, say what you will about how we got there, but the last friggin' 3 episodes of the Clone Wars is some of the best Star Wars that's ever been on a screen. Saying it, I'm saying it.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Yep.
Wait, regardless, you saying Chris is out of line?
Yeah, no. Well, I was just quoting Falcon and Winter Soldier. But,
okay.
But no,
okay.
He's really just unequivocally right.
Yeah, it's what happens. Listen, it's incredible. The last 3 episodes of Clone Wars. The last season's really good, but like the final 3 episodes, that Darth Maul fight is unreal. But kiss. Serge, we tangented. What is the worst Star Wars game in your opinion?
Oh man,
besides Cory Booker.
the worst Star Wars game is Cory Booker because he plays himself.
Is this human man?
Yeah, you have Rosario Dawson. She's a star. Anyway, Star Wars Battlefront. Why? Why is that the worst game I could possibly think of? What? A, B, C. Where do I even start? Okay, so EA is let's see, headed by, how do I explain this? Money-hungry vampires, blood-sucking geck-suckers who want nothing more than to bleed you dry of your money and to give you the most piss-poor experience you can ever have in your lifetime. I remember going to Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, being there, being hyped, being excited for a modern-day Star Wars Battlefront game. Star Wars Battlefront is one of the most hypest games you've ever played. I remember being at my friend's house on PlayStation, hitting up Battlefront 1 and 2, getting into the thick of things. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I remember being a Star Wars Celebration and us getting into this like weird like Dolby Atmos surround sound booth that they made in the middle of the floor for you to see what was going to be this game, Star Wars Battlefront 2015. And it was cool at the time. And the other thing they promised was that this game was going to kind of tell you what was going to happen between the OG movies and this new movie. There was some stuff, the connective tissue, and what we got was some like Jakku map, some weird exposition that really didn't say anything, and then you play the game, you play the match, and then that's it. What?
That's it. No story.
No story. Also, no freaking story in a Star Wars game. It was just multiplayer. And we're just like, wait, what? We want to play through. Again, you have modern day graphics done by DICE. DICE is a great game company with amazing developers working for the worst vampiric, disgusting human beings ever to wear suits inside of
People don't play campaign modes.
They do, in fact, but not according to EA, and that's what Casey was referencing. I was like a bull in the red. Like, I didn't really understand what you were doing until it really triggered me. Like a goddamn serial killer, like the ice pick killer. Yeah. It's like the ice pick killer when he's being interviewed by that reporter. He's just like, something you said just now kind of ticked me off. I kind of wanted to kill you just now. It's like, what? Anyway, that's how EA makes me want to feel. It's just like, how do you release a modern day Star Wars game done by DICE, amazing graphics, great gameplay, no story? Here is some multiplayer. It wasn't polished when it first released. The servers were a nightmare, and you just wanted to play a fun Star Wars game and get in the muck. with your friends. Boys, just load up and go. And it was just such a nightmare to play. They promised us a lot. They delivered on a little. And then after a long, after so many years later, they then promised in this game what they were going to deliver. But it was co-op mode. It wasn't that great. It just left a really, really sour taste in my mouth. Kind of like the sour taste you get when you're a blood-sucking vampire and you suck the blood out of people or the money out of people like EA does. God, can EA just kick the fucking bucket? Can these guys just skydive without parachutes?
Just leave.
Yeah,
Get out.
Can the executives at EA Games just cartwheel into traffic on the busiest time, wherever they are in the world? Just cartwheel right into I-95, jump out of a plane. Just go to the Amazon, wear a meat suit, and hop into the most piranha-infested part of the Amazon River. EA executives, eat shit. So that concludes our... Anyway, Jay's Mac, who couldn't be here today, what did he write in?
For his worst game, Star Wars Kinetic Dance Off for the Xbox.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Okay, Jerry redeemed himself for that.
Yeah, that's a good choice. It's a real good choice.
For those who don't know, the Xbox had a thing called the Kinect, right? It was supposed to be the next evolution of gaming. It was supposed to be kind of like augmented reality and virtual reality. So what it did was it was a smart camera that put on virtual bones on your body, and it puts you into virtual spaces. So what you can do with this, so everyone knows Wii Sports, you can play bowling, volleyball, tennis. So with the Xbox Kinect, it would sit on top of your TV or in front of your TV. It would map out your human body. It would put virtual bones on you, and you can do stuff like move around in the space. You can play volleyball, tennis. And there was a game, a Star Wars game, for the Kinect, where you dance. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and NBs, you dance. The most ridiculous Star Wars game. I mean, you gotta love it. Somebody thought of this idea, yo, what if you were Han Solo just busting out the cruise from back in the day?
I'm Han Solo.
Yeah. It's such a funky, ridiculous... I mean, I love it. I love that somebody made this game, dude.
Someone decided this is how I want to experience Star Wars, is everybody dancing. Kicking it to the polls. The polls, much to my chagrin, definitely agree with Casey that Masters of Terrascasi is the worst Star Wars game, which bums me out. But you know what? I'll always have my PlayStation 1 game that no one else apparently plays.
We'll always have the memories of Star Wars.
Oh God! Listen, come at me. I will wreck you in Star Wars Master Terrascasi. Just saying.
Listen, of that there is certainly no doubt.
It's I don't think anyone's trying to contest that.
No one's gonna take it. Pull up that gauntlet. That's fine. That's fine.
I love the comment in chat. Cory Booker is incompetent at everything except landing Rosario Dawson. True. It's funny because it's true. What is Rosario Dawson doing there? Anyway, so guys, blasting off through this Star Wars galaxy here on May the 4th, we've come to the best category. The best category in the entire galaxy, and that is best game. Best game. Is it Last of Us 2? That was a joke.
I mean,
right.
Is it Star Wars The Last of Us 2?
Star Wars.
It is Hades. It's Hades.
Oh my God. Wrong. It's Last of Us 2 because everybody's paying for that game to be on top. Anyway, so let's kick it off to Casey, the best game here on May the 4th in the Star Wars galaxy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to put aside my personal biases for this one.
Oh.
Because I had to go back to a time where my answer is The Force Unleashed.
Nice.
And for the very particular reason of the hype was so real for that game. Everybody was like, new character? Like, he's throwing Star Destroyers out of the sky? Like what else can he do? You know, you could play it Darkside. You could play it Lightside. You had, the best lightsaber combat we'd ever seen so far. Everything about this game was blowing people's minds in the far-flung year of 2006. What an incredible time. The Revenge of the Sith had just come out. You're like, all right, well, we're not getting any more Star Wars movies ever. I wish, said 16-year-old Casey. But, I mean, sure enough, this game delivered on everything it promised and more. And I think it's a wholly satisfying experience from beginning to end. It's not a perfect game. Obviously, there are a lot of things that, they ironed out by the time the sequel rolled around. But, man, if people aren't clamoring for a new one of these, I don't even know what Star Wars game they need in their lives.
Dude, seriously, like I would love to see a current gen version of this game. I mean, imagine this on the PlayStation 5. Oh my god.
Fully remastered?
Dude, with all no, a new one, just a new one.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, but with all the different particle effects and the HD textures, I mean, it would be insane. They could push this thing to the max. Chris, best game here on May the 4th in the Star Wars galaxy.
Listen, you're going to get mad at me, Serge. But I got to say Battlefront 2.
Oh!
I got to say it. So, first of all, obviously, Battlefront 1 was a fine multiplayer experience. It had problems
the
at
OG
launch.
or the current one?
Oh, I'm talking about the 2. My favorite one is the second one. And I think that the second one fixed a lot of the issues of the first one. Obviously, there's still the loot box scenario, but the fact that we got a story, it was really short. However, I thought it was pretty cool that they were showing some characters that we know and love kind of throughout at different points that we hadn't seen them in yet. I think the giant 20v20 or is it 40v40? I forget. It might be 40v40 battles are like awesome. Fairly recently, within the last year and a half, they added a new mode called Ewok Hunt, where you play as you drop in with I think 20 people. 2 people are set as Ewoks, and everybody else is stormtroopers running through the dark dark Endor. And as the people as Ewoks start taking out the stormtroopers, they then revive and become Ewoks themselves. So you have to try to survive the night and get to the transport, and it is fun as hell. Big fan of that mode. But all of the locations in this game, they look gorgeous. They even added they have been updating it as we go along. They added some story elements before Rise of Skywalker came out as well to kind of tie into the movies. I just think it's a really fun and a really Star Warsy experience. There's the heroes, there are the blasters, there are the vehicles. So there is they actually did a great job working on the space combat, and a lot of the folks that actually worked on that actually went on to do Star Wars Squadrons as a standalone game. So yeah, Battlefront 2 I think gets the best, most Star Warsy experience.
Nice. I do actually like Battlefront 2. I agree. They really nailed the head on what we wanted for a Battlefront game, and it felt more like the OG game, because you're like, all right, we hear you guys screaming loud and clear as he kind of botched the first revival of the new game, so let's go and kind of give you guys what you want. I really do like the big battles, like DICE. Oh my god, they come through every single time with the graphics. I mean, the foliage in the trees, the snow as you're walking through, as it curdles and moves out of the way, the rain when it comes down on Camino. I mean, it's just you feel like you're in freaking Star Wars, And of course they got all the sound from Lucas. If you got an Atmos system, apparently it's even more so. The blasters feel great, the battles feel great and epic. It's just a really good time, and especially when you get one of the big heroes on the battlefield. I remember the first time I loaded up and I got enough points to be Darth Maul, and just going through the streets of Naboo as Darth Maul was insane. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So I had a lot of fun in Battlefront 2, so I agree that is a really good game. It was hard to pick a best game. There were so many good ones out there. And it's tough, too, because I do like playing multiplayer games and ones that look really good, like Battlefront 2. Jedi Fallen Order, I thought, was a great combination of story and game mechanics. Knights of the Republic, great story, nostalgic feels, pod racer, that whizzing by, adrenaline rush that you got. I mean, especially when I was a kid, I was just like, woo, yeah, this is great. And who doesn't love the OG, Shadows of the Empire? I remember playing that over on my buddy's N64. That thing was tight. But I will have to say, out of this category, I mean, oh, man, it's tough. I do want to pick the Force Unleashed just because it was so overblown and so insane. But I do want to say Respawn Entertainment did a really good job with Jedi Fallen Order. I was so surprised at how much I enjoyed that game, playing through this story. I want more of it. You know, like, they need to come back. I mean, they nailed it on the head. It's just so crazy how they came together, thought of this coherent story. They thought of this coherent story, and they gave you a good lightsaber battles. You're rewarded for not hacking and slashing. You're rewarded for being more methodical, and you were taking through, Star Wars Galaxy, like, albeit a few planets, but I liked going to, like, the Sith homeworld. That was a lot of fun, getting the double bit of lightsaber there. I liked the boss battles in the game. Graphics were amazing, and the ending was crazy. Like, just I didn't expect to see Vader come through. Spoiler alert! But dude, it was just it was just such a great ride. And even though you end up not going and reviving the Jedi Order, I mean, obviously, you spend the whole game trying to do it, and that was kind of like a weird turn. They maybe should have made the game about something else. But I wouldn't mind returning as Cal Kestis, or maybe even another Jedi in that world with the same team who made this game. Just, hey, give me another story, put me somewhere else in the Star Wars universe, and give me this again. Like, I'm on board.
More. Give me more.
Seriously, like even if even if it's not Cal Kestis, drop me into the Star Wars galaxy via like the Fallen Order style. Like, so freaking good. But yeah, our right in Jay's Mac. What did he say?
James Mac said Bounty Hunter on PS2. Jay's a big fan of this game. I don't know what else to tell you.
I don't know if that's a meme. I don't know if he's memeing or...
No, I think he genuinely loves this game.
Okay.
It's a very solid game. But yeah, I don't know. He didn't give any other reason. I mean, it's really the only time you could play as a satisfying Boba Fett out of the Lego Star Wars games, which I feel like should get an honorable mention in every category for this entire show. And when's the only other time you could play as Boba Fett? Battlefront, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And he owns Battlefront
and
too.
Masters of Terras Kasi. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Oh my god, the Terrace Cassie comes again. But yeah, like, but Boba Fett owns the Battlefront.
Yeah.
Once you get that air superiority, it's awesome.
Looking to the polls decided that it was going to be Knights of the Old Republic. Actually, it's kind of split. Knights of the Old Republic is what Facebook said. The folks on Twitter really like Jedi Fallen Order, which are both...
It's hard to beat.
It is. Both of these games are just great, and Jedi Fallen Order is amazing. I do want to give a shout out to folks that if you haven't played it, the Vader Immortal VR experience is pretty incredible. There's a sequence in the second one where you fight a Rancor, and that is just like absolutely unreal to be like looking at a life-size Rancor and fighting it. But I feel like not like a lot of people have got like really played that one, and so like. And it's a phenomenal experience if you get the chance to do it. But I think overall most people are going with Jedi Fallen Order and Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah,
good choices.
Yeah. Very,
great choices.
Very, very good choices. Did you want to ask this last question? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So like we've talked about different categories and what we think the best games are. So like what are the quintessential elements that make a great Star Wars game? So like what if you had to make a Star Wars game, what are the pieces that like are the important elements that you want to bring that you would need to bring in? I think Casey, we should start with you.
Honestly, one of the things I really found lacking in Fallen Order, other than a sense of direction, but I wanted ship-to-ship combat.
Ooh.
I really did. There's no there's no real action in that game that isn't by your hands. And I understand that that's by design. I mean, they make a whole separate franchise of games for ship-to-ship combat, but part of the charm of something like Shadows of the Empire, which, for 1996, 1997 was as definitive a great Star Wars game as you can get, it had a little bit of both. It had on-foot missions. It had a snowspeeder mission. It had a speeder bike mission. It had shooting asteroids in the Outrider. I mean, that game gave you a pretty solid amount of variety. And I think that's really the gold standard for what it should be. Obviously, you can't go back to a game where it's just you're playing as a Han Solo type with a blaster. You genuinely must. Lightsaber combat is a must now. After Force Unleashed, after Fallen Order, you have to have it. It's just the way that it is. But I say add ships. I mean, look, you got a ton of people working on these games. There's no reason why you can't vary up the gameplay a little more.
Yeah, and that was the best part about Galactic Conquest and the OG Battlefront. I mean, being able to go ship to ship, land in the ship, get out, like wreak some havoc, get into ship and blast off. I mean, like it's unreal. I mean, and that's another thing that was missing from the current Battlefront. But yeah, in the OG one, it was so tight to be able to go from ship to ship and like wreak some havoc. It was nuts. Like that battle was awesome. And I think what makes a great Star Wars game great is a good story. We don't have to. I mean, if Fallen Order showed us anything, we don't need, like the Skywalkers. We don't need, like Chewbacca. We don't need these legacy characters. We can follow a Jedi, a little Padawan, and on his journey, battling up against another former Padawan, and find out her descent into darkness and how she turned into an Inquisitor. I mean, the Inquisitor story was. It's like some of the best. And when we get into the final battle, when we fight Trilla in Fallen Order, I thought it was really compelling. And I wanted to play as her. Dude, on hard mode, she was whooping ass.
You always want to play as a bad guy. I don't blame you.
They're cooler. They're much, dude. In Fallen Order, when you get that crazy Force vision and you get the Imperial armor on Cal Kestis, is like, this is the game I want to play. This is the game. When you get that armor, you're like, sick. Oh my god, it's insane. And also that game has some incredible like tricky engineering things. Like there's a part of the game where you're walking through a train, but you don't realize you're kind of like Jedi daydreaming, and you try to open a door. The door is locked. You turn around and you're in a pristine Star Destroyer, and it's like, what? And it was just so cool. Like you flip the camera from this grungy train around the other side where you came from to the Star Destroyer, and I thought it was awesome. But yeah, I think what makes a really good Star Wars game, great story, unique characters, a part of why I really like Knights of the Republic and Fallen Order, a story that I don't know with characters I don't know, but if you write them well, hey, we'll like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think if obviously like lightsabers are a big part of it, but that's only one part of it. Good blasters, like everyone can do good blasters. I think if we're talking about like ships, you got to have a lot of trench runs. It's one of the reasons I wasn't super hot on on squadrons.
We didn't even make a mention of Rogue Squadron on the N64.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron. Also, a lot of people were mentioning throwbacks like TIE Fighter and X-Wing, and even Rebel Assault 2 is like nothing but trench runs. And those are just so fun. And I think that that was missing from Squadrons. Like the way the ships handled Squadrons, awesome. The way you look around the cockpit, great. The way they consolidate a lot of the controls, awesome. But there was just not a lot of trench runs. That's all I want to do. I want to go down in a canyon, be it organic or otherwise, and I want to try to shoot stuff and try to dodge things as I'm flying through it. That's why if you're gonna have ships, if I'm gonna be flying around in ships, give me a trench run. If I'm gonna have a lightsaber, you got to give me a solid block. Like you got to be able to block laser blasts. On there,
you gotta give it some weight.
Yeah.
Don't just make it light and I just want a.
Yeah. You want to feel it.
Yeah, Casey wants a fat, meaty lightsaber, dude. He can't handle it.
That's it.
Everybody wants chopping wood. All right, everybody wants chopping wood. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. Obviously, Star Wars is a great story, and every game that's great has a really good story, and in the end, that's what matters most. But amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
We did it, guys.
incredible. Guys, it's May the 4th, incredible Star Wars Day. And we just went through talking about all the different categories in gaming in which we thought were pretty funky about Star Wars. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Button Smash. You guys, thank you for watching live here on Twitch, for listening on Google Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, and we're listening to a podcast, being active in chat, being cool, and yeah, guys, may the 4th be with you, and we'll see you next time, or we'll see you another time.